Hello, this is Jonathan Gardner. I thought I'd do a tutorial video for Factorio. This is version 12.6. You can see here it's an experimental version, so if you buy Factorio, you have to find the link for the experimental version and download that, which I highly suggest. This hasn't had a lot of bugs for me at all. None that I can notice. I think it crashed a couple times back in like 12.0 or 12.1. So just wanted to cover a tutorial about how to play this game. We're going to do a new game. Just normal everything. I'll show you how to get started, your factory. So, press tab obviously. Moving around WASD. It's pretty typical for video games. Scroll wheel will zoom in and out. Find somewhere you're comfortable where you can see stuff. Press M to see the map. You can zoom in and you can move around WASD as well. And press M to hide the map. So M to show the map, M to hide the map. This is not a good starting spot. I don't see any copper. I see lots of iron, which is good. I see a bit of coal, which is good. Stone is kind of sprinkled about, but there's no copper. And you need copper to get started. So I'm going to restart this level, and feel free to restart as many times as you want until you find a starting location you like. So I just hit escape to get here. Escape, and then I hit restart. Okay. There's a new world. Press M to get a look around, and this one sure enough has iron and copper. I don't see any. There's a little bit of coal, not much. I don't need much to get started. You'd probably want more. So the point of this game is to build stuff. In order to build stuff, you need resources like iron and copper and things like that. In order to get those resources, you have to mine them. So you can hover over one of these squares. You can right click and start mining. And that yellow bar in the bottom represents your progress in mining one item. Obviously this is taking a very, very long time, so you should give up. Don't do that. The first thing you should build is a iron pickaxe. Right now you have nothing, no tool. So let's press E. On the right side is the things you can build. The left side is the things in your inventory. The bottom is also your inventory. This is called the tool belt. So those are things that you always see. Quick access. You can actually use number keys to access them. And over here are the equipment that you're actually carrying and using. So if I click on these three gears, the production tab, there's an iron axe. I'm going to left click once to build one iron axe. One iron axe will last you quite a while. So I'm going to press E again to get out. So E to get in, E to get out. And then right click, hold down right button to mine. And I'm mining iron ore. As you can see, this takes a little bit of time. If this were Minecraft, you'd just sit and do that all day, but this is Factorio. So we're going to use the burner mining drill, which you start with. And just click on that. Press Q to let go of something. So click Q to let go. You can also press 1. That'll pick it up automatically. So Q, just 1, Q, 1. 2 will switch to the thing over here. If you press the same number twice, it lets go of 2, but you can just press Q. 1, Q. So 1. So I want to place this down. It's red because I can't place it here because there's no material to mine. I can place it here on the iron, obviously. Anywhere on the iron is fine. So I can mine iron. I could also mine coal. Well, if it's too far away, it turns into a ghost because you can't place it there. So see, it's a ghost. I can mine coal. I could mine copper as well. But I'm going to start with iron. Iron is the most important ingredient in the beginning of the game. Later on, it'll be copper. Probably in the mid to late game, it'll be copper. You can rotate it by pressing R. I'm going to have it face down. I'm going to left click to place it. There, now it's placed. So if you hover over it, there's like a little yellow rectangle to show you what you're looking at. Over on the right side, it tells you what it is. It tells you the parameters of that thing as well. Like, you know, in this case, it tells you how much ore it's sitting on top of, 2.6 thousand iron ore. Because each of these squares contain a certain amount of iron ore. When it's gone, the iron ore is gone. So this one has 2.6 thousand. It's blinking because it needs fuel. We'll get it some fuel in a second, but I wanted to place down the furnace first. Well, furnaces don't have a direction. Doesn't matter what you rotate. I'm going to place it right next to the iron ore mining drill. That way, you see this little yellow rectangle? That's where the iron ore is going to come out. It's going to drop it directly into the stone furnace. But we need fuel. Let's get some fuel. Let's find some trees and get some fuel. Trees, trees, trees. I'm just going to wander around until I find some trees. I can also press M on the map. Sometimes it'll show me the trees, which this is a place that is seriously devoid of trees. There's like no trees whatsoever, which is going to be a problem. I need trees to get started. So I'm going to go get a bunch of trees. This is a dead tree. Right click to mine it. I just got 2 wood from that. This is another dead tree. Let's go explore some more to find some trees. Ah, here's some more trees. I'm going to get about 50 trees, but if in your case, if there's trees closer to your iron ore, you only need a couple. You don't need a lot, but I'm going to, it's taking a long time to walk around. There should be trees here. And this looks like the plains, actually. Anyway, just explore around. If you see some red on the map, not this magenta color, but actual red, those are aliens. You want to stay away from them. Aliens will kill you if you get too close to them. You're not strong enough to fight them yet. Here's another tree. Okay, so I have a severe shortage of trees on this map, and I am tempted to restart. Yeah, unless I see a ton of trees somewhere, I'm going to restart. Because, okay, this is not a ton of trees. Okay, well, this will do. Okay, let's just grab some trees. I'm going to be very careful with how many trees I use. I'm going to get to coal as soon as possible. I need the coal for fuel. I need the trees for power poles. So head back to where I started. You have to have a good memory for these things sometimes. But if you get lost, you can look at the map, and it'll show you with these blue where you've built something. So that's where I built my stuff. So I can go to the blue. Kind of east, northeast. Or that'd be west, northwest. Left, up, left. Okay, so let's put some trees in. There's a couple ways to do this. You can left click them, and you can see here the fuel that it has. It has no fuel at all. But if I pick up the wood and then right click, it puts a single wood in there. Immediately it turns it into fuel and it's burning it down. So I'm just going to put 4 more in. Left click on this one, put 5 in there. Now I'm making iron ore. And I can press Alt. It'll show me the arrows on the mining drills. It'll also show me the material that's being manufactured. At this point I want to show you the options menu. Under graphics, there's some options you might want to turn on and off. I have turned off the pollution on the minimap. The minimap is this thing in the upper right hand corner. I turned that off. And I don't like having light entity info background. I like the dark one better. There's some other options you could do. You want to read through that and figure it out. You can hide the minimap if you really want to. I like the minimap. And for sounds, I kind of adjust all the sounds down, keep the ambient volume up, everything else down. You can experiment with what you like, of course. So I don't recommend changing controls at all, but you can read what the different controls are and seeing what they do. All right, back. Resume, not quit game. Okay, so I'm making iron. I can do 2 ways to get the iron out. One way is I go over here and click it out, or I can hit Control, left click. Hold down Control and left click, and that'll pull it out when it's ready. Okay, so I have some iron. I need some stone now to build another mining drill. So let's go up here and mine some stone. We need 5. 5. I got 5 stone. So I go over here on the crafting menu, and it says I can build a burn and mining drill. It takes 2 seconds to build one. Takes 3 iron gear wheels. It's orange because I don't have iron gear wheels, but I can make them. And it needs a stone furnace and 3 more iron plates. So I'm just going to click on this, and you see immediately it starts crafting it. Okay. So if you look at your menu, the grayed out items are things you cannot build because you do not have the resources. If there's a red, that means that's the resource you don't have. So this one, I have the iron sticks, but I don't have the iron plates. Well, I don't have iron sticks, but I can make them. I'm going to need a wooden chest, so I make that. And otherwise, that's all that I'm going to make right now. Okay. So rather than sit here and mine stone all day, I'm going to set up another burner mining drill. Turn it that way. Left click, and now it's going to put it into a box. I'm going to give this guy 4 fuel. Okay, 5 fuel to give him. He's going to make I only have 3 wood left, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to Control left click. That'll drop everything in my hand into that thing. So now he has all the wood. I have iron plates. I have some stone. Control left click to pull out of a box. Can I make another burner mining drill? I can. I can't make another box. Let's see if we can make another one of these. Control left click, that's 9. And control left click, that's 8 more. And if I go over here, I can make 1 more. So I have 2 mining drills, and I'm going to set up a little bit of a pattern here. This is really useful in the early game. So you set up 1 mining drill, and you have it face the other. And then you have to get it started. So let's get a coal. I could use wood, but wood's kind of scarce. Okay, so I take this coal, I stick it in, and he starts making coal, and he dumps it into the next machine, which gets the fuel. You'll see the coal appear here. And then he dumps it into the machine that was giving it to him, so he has coal, and you can just control left click to pull it out. Now if you happen to pull it out and they run out of fuel at that instant, that's fine, they'll charge each other up, it's okay. So we have 6 coal already, we have 2 mining drills running 6 coal. Let's go over here and power our machines with that coal. I'm going to do control right click to give half to that machine, and this guy's probably out too. Control left click. So we need stone, iron to build more of these burner mining drills. We're going to build a couple. I'm not going to tell you the exact proportions I use. You can find out for yourself. I need some more coal. Actually, I have this iron ore that needs to be burned in the furnace. Okay. So we're getting coal, we're getting some stone, we're getting some iron plate. This guy's out. Control right click to put half in. Remember E to open this menu. And control left click to pull out the iron plate. Let's see if I can build another burner mining drill. I can build another one. I can build another furnace too. So let's do some double time on the iron. You'll see this pattern a lot in Factorio. If you have a process that works, you double it, you triple it, you quadruple it. You build it 100 times. Control right click, control left click, gives them fuel, half to the first one, the rest of the other one. Let's go get some more. We're going to be starved for coal, but I'm going to be talking a lot, so it probably won't be an issue. Alright, so we have iron plates, we have some stone coming in, and if I just sit around and wait, I'll keep getting more stuff. Of course I have to keep giving them fuel, but at this point I'd like to build a copper mine. So I'm going to build a mining drill and that, and just do the same thing for copper that I did for iron. This is a really useful pattern. Control right click, control left click. Now we're getting copper. With the iron and copper coming in, we have all the necessary ingredients for power. I'm going to need some wood for power poles, so I'm going to go over there and get some wood. That patch of wood that we saw over here to the west. It's a bit of a hike. Starting in the desert is nice because you have lots of space to build. You don't have to cut down trees. It's bad because of pollution. It's also bad because you don't have a lot of trees. So what makes it nice is the same thing that makes it bad. So expanding into the desert when you don't need trees anymore is nice. Okay, so we're going to collect quite a few trees. That's probably enough. Okay, so we can make power poles. Down here, the electric poles, it requires some wood, which is made from, click over here, this wood is made from raw wood. 1 raw wood produces 2 wood, and this guy requires 2 wood and 2 copper cables. Copper cables are actually on this menu as well. Just requires a copper plate. So let's go get some copper plates. Pass the iron. Let's get some coal while we pass. Minimize the number of trips I have to take. Get the copper. Alright, let's build some, good thing I brought that. So control right click, control left click. Now those guys have fuel. Let's pull out the iron ore. Alright, let's build some power. So power requires 3 components. 1 is the offshore pump. 2 is the boilers. I'm going to build 2. Left click, and 1 is the steam engine. Just left click. Let's drop the offshore pump into the water on the edge. Anywhere it turns green, there you go. Let's do 2 of these guys, and let's put the steam engine in. So we're making power as soon as I put fuel in there. I'm not going to use my wood for fuel. I'm going to need something to carry the power, which is the power poles. I am going to left click and then right click. The reason why I do that is the left click says get it to me quick, and the right click says build 5 at a time, and it takes a little longer to build 5 at a time, of course. You have to wait a little longer to get the 5. So I normally left click first and then right click so I can get it quickly. Alright, so we are well on our way. Don't really need stone anymore, so I'm going to ignore that. Control right click, control left click. We are making steam engine power electricity. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. I wanted to click that. Now we need a lab. A lab takes 10 electronic circuits, 10 gear wheels, 4 transport belts, a total of 36 iron and 15 copper. Well, I have 36 iron. I just need the copper. And now I have 33 copper, so I can build that. And I'm going to need 10 research. 5, 10. Right click, needs 10. Let's go over here to the power. Let's drop the lab down when it's done. Wait for it. It's building the gears now. Now it's building the transport belts, and here comes the lab. It takes a little longer to build. You can left click on these things to stop building one if you make a mistake. Probably want to do that if you don't want to waste your time or resources waiting for it. Here comes the research. Drop that in. Nothing happens. Why? Because we are not starting a research. So I have to press T. T. The first thing you want to research, unless there's like aliens right next door, the first thing you want to research is automation. Always automation. It takes 10 seconds per unit. Each unit requires one of these red science pack ones, and you need 10 units. So let's click research, and the research starts. Now I can click this and put it up here. The other thing I can do when I'm in this kind of menu is I can control left click an empty space, or I can control left click the item I want to move up. If I click an empty space, anything in my inventory that can go in these boxes, it'll send them up to those boxes. So I like to use that a lot. So as soon as I get 10, I can build my factory, my assembling machines. While I'm waiting for that, let's talk about research a little bit. I'm going to click T. So the green ones are the ones you can research right away. And as I said, the only one you want to research is this automation. That's the first thing you're going to research. Unless there's aliens right next door, then you'll do military. The red ones are ones you cannot research yet. You don't have the prerequisites done. So I told you how to read this. It takes 10 seconds per unit. Each unit takes one science pack 1, and you need 10 units to complete the research. You get it when you get it, you unlock the electronics research. So you can do that one. You also get an assembling machine 1, which is kind of the core of Factorio, and this long-handed inserter, the red inserter is what I call them, which you're not going to be using for quite a while. But this thing is super important. So let's go. Now, I'm going to complete the research here. Grab this one, control left click and drop it in. We're just going to wait because this guy's out of power. Let's go get some coal, and let's give him some coal. This guy needs some coal. Let's drop control right click to put half in there. Control right click, control left click. So the furnaces don't use quite as much power as the mining drills do. But that's one of those details that you'll kind of figure out as you go along. So I'm just picking up the resources that I have, trying to complete the research. Looks like the research is, nope, it's still going on. I have put all the red science packs it needs. So the next thing I'm going to build is I'm going to build some factories that'll build the red science for me. I just have to feed them the resources. They'll build the resources for me. I can't build the factories at this very second, but I will once this completes. So once it completes, bam, you see that? I can build these assembling machines. I'm going to build 2 of them. They're going to take a little bit of time. They have to build circuits and everything to get to them. I also want to build 2 of these inserters. If you don't have the resources, at the very bottom it tells you what you need. If you need iron plates or copper plates. So pay attention to that. The next research I'm going to do is military. This also takes 15 seconds per unit, 1 science pack per unit, and you need 10 units. So we shall do that. Let's pick up some more resources while we wait for things to build. And let's go down here, pick up some coal. Okay. If I was unhappy with the amount of iron I'm producing, I can build 4 or 8 or even 16 of these. I don't recommend going beyond 8. So put a yellow inserter. It's going to take it from a factory and put a yellow inserter and take it from a factory. So this one is going to build gears. This one is going to build red science packs. If I wanted to change, I can click this one. So I can click something else that it'll make, but I want this to be red science packs. So let's look at the inserters really quickly here. The bar says where it's pulling from, and the arrow says where it pushes it to. So this is going to take the red science that's produced and puts it in the science lab. This is going to take the gears that are produced and puts them into the red science lab. Let's look at the ingredients for the red science lab. It needs copper plates. Well, I got copper plates. Let's put those in there. And it needs iron gears. I don't have any iron gears. I'm not going to make them in my pocket. I'm going to go over here and stick the iron plate in there. So he'll make gear wheels. Now he doesn't have power. That's what the plug symbol is. These guys do have power. You can see that if I hover over the power pole, it tells you in blue the things that it's powering. You can kind of see the radius that it covers. So I need another power pole. Just connect that one up there. And you can see it's connected by this copper wire that goes between them. If you shift click on a power pole, this might confuse you. If you accidentally do that, oops, just tear it down and rebuild it. Okay, don't shift click on the power poles. It's a useful thing that you might want to do. So this guy is busy working. He's converting all the, he's already done, converting all the iron plate to gear wheels. And this will fill up until it gets a full stack of gear wheels, until it can't hold anymore. This guy will only pull gear wheels off when there's not enough gear wheels here. So he's making sure there's 2 gear wheels in this factory. And by the same token, this guy only pulls off when there's not enough science labs in here. So he has 2. It doesn't have an extra one, but he's going to try to keep, I think, 2 inside the science lab. And they're going to keep working as long as I keep giving them resources. This guy requires copper, and this guy requires iron plate. So let's go do another round down here. Okay, and over here. Okay, there we go. Another round. Keep an eye on the power. If we run out of coal inside these machines, we will not have enough power. You can check your power a couple of ways. This will tell you how much power you're making. The production is how much we're producing, and it says that we're not producing the maximum. We're producing like 1/4 of what we could be producing right now. Consumption says how much we're using. If this were yellow or red, that would be because we're not producing enough power. Right now, we're making more than enough. You can click the different time tabs to see how much you've produced over time. This period, this orange bar, you see up here orange for the science lab, that's when we did the first initial research. This is when we're doing the military research. So he's only on when you're doing actual research. The green bar is the yellow inserters. You can see they just kind of only use power when they actually grab something. And the blue bar is the factories. You can see there's a big spike and another big spike in the factories, but now it's kind of leveled off. In fact, it's pretty much stopped, probably because we ran out of resources. Over here on the production side, it says the steam engines are producing all the power that we need to power everything. So that's a good thing to look at the graph and figure it out. The other thing you can look at is you can hover over something and it tells you the electricity that it has. Here it's green, has enough electricity. Everybody has enough electricity. And just hovering over the power poles will tell you the same thing. This thing will tell you that he's producing only about 1/3 or 1/4 of the power he needs to, and he can produce a lot more, but he's not. That's fine. Okay, so we're almost done with military research. Be a couple more of these. Let's see what we're out of. We're out of iron plates. Well, I got iron plates. So let's control click an empty spot, and he throws the iron plates up there, and he starts making gears. And he'll keep making gears until the iron plates run out. And you can actually grab the gears if you wanted to for yourself. I don't want to. Military is finished. So I'm going to click T and T again to ignore that. I don't want to do any more research right now. Click E, go over to the military tab, and look, there's the submachine gun. We can build that right now if we had iron plates. Let's go get some iron plates. Okay, let's build one submachine gun. And just like the iron tool, it's going to pop up over here when he builds it. So we're going to have a see over there, he's crafting it, and he's done. Now we have this. Let's put the ammo in that machine gun. And let's get rid of this pistol. So I'm going to go over here and press Z to drop it on the ground. If I wanted to pick something up, I'd go near it and press F. So let's drop that gun on the ground again. I'm not ever going to use it with Z. That gun is on the ground. Another thing you do is put it in a chest, a wooden chest or something, if you really wanted to. Okay, so we are not researching anything. I'm just going to stop research. I'm going to build something else. I'm going to build this radar. The radar is really useful because it gives you a wider view. It also does some exploration far away. So I'm going to plop this radar in. Drop it somewhere where it has power. Here it has no power, here it would. And the blue circle tells you which power pole it's using to get its power. So pop that down. He starts to work. He uses electricity. Let's look at how much electricity he uses. Let's click 10 minutes. And the radar is this blue line. And if you look, he jumped sky high. He uses a ton of power. We're now producing half. Half of the power is going to this radar. I think one of these steam engines fully operating can produce 500 kilowatts. So 10 would be 5 megawatts. By the way, the ratio for the maximum you can do is one pump can feed 13 boilers, can feed 10 steam engines. That's the best ratio that I use. Some people use 14. I use 13. You can use whatever you want. If you want to experiment, you can experiment. This is a game of experimentation. So if you find some other better way to let you like, go ahead and do it. It's up to you. Make your factory into your factory. Don't make it a copy of mine. Control right click, control left click, give them some more fuel. I'm going to press M to see what the radar has uncovered. Nothing yet. I don't see any alien bases around. No alien bases, so you're pretty safe. Now, I do see this red. That's the pollution that you're producing. I'm going to click Alt to turn off the pollution and Alt to turn it back on. So you can kind of see which ones are red. I'm producing very little pollution right now. The reason why is I have a minimum factory. Very small factory. If you built more, you'd be making more pollution. The issue with pollution is it really doesn't matter until it hits an alien base. And when it hits an alien base, then you're in trouble. Not only will the alien base attack you, from time to time it'll send like a group of monsters to attack you, but it'll cause the monsters to evolve more quickly. So even if you're able to fight off the attacks, over time they're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And if you're not getting stronger at the same time, they'll get stronger than you. They get stronger quite quickly. So you want to avoid polluting the enemy bases as much as possible. Press M to go back. I'm going to wrap up this episode. Let's give some more fuel here. Control left click. We'll wrap up this episode by trying to find an alien base. Just showing you what it looks like. So I'm going to go explore. Out into the wild yonder. All by myself, far away from my base. Here I go. I can see some more water on the mini map. Looks like a big lake. So I'm going to kind of head towards the south of that lake. There's a little patch of iron ore. Oh, please. Oh, no. What is that? That looks like that's copper. Or it could be oil. It's hard to tell. Down here. Now I'm in the thick woods. I'm going to try to bypass these woods. They do get thicker. You can find out in your own gameplays. Where are the aliens? What is that? That's more oil. Looks like this game is giving me a lot of oil, but not very many aliens. Oh, there we go. There's actually two bases. One over here and one over here. Let's go towards this one. I'm going to try to get one to attack me. I'm going to zoom out maximum so you can kind of see what's going on. It's right south of me right now. It is a little dark. There. That's the alien base. And these are little biters. Here they come. They're attacking me all together. I'm pressing space and just holding my mouse cursor over them. I was able to kill them with the ammo that I had. I do not recommend attacking a base until you get piercing ammo, which comes from military 2. And you probably want some grenades too. You'd probably need, I think, about at least 20 magazines of piercing ammo to take out a base. And that's just one base. If there's more, you need, that many times more. You want to build yourself some steel armor too. I'm not going to cover military and fighting in this episode. I just wanted to cover just getting the basics started, how to set up a factory, make some research. You obviously can build the way you want to, in the order you want to. Probably next tutorial I'll cover transport belts and how they work. Maybe a tutorial on how machine guns work, or I'm sorry, gun turrets. And then I'll probably cover a tutorial on how to set up the main line for your factory if you want to use that style of building a factory. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this has been enjoyable. Take care and enjoy.